After months of waiting and wondering what would happen next, the latest update about Denzel Washington and the Equalizer is honestly one of the best pieces of news fans could have hoped for. It isn't just exciting because the franchise is getting more movies, but also because it means Denzel Washington will be back on screen in one of his most entertaining roles. Since 2014, Washington has played former Marine Robert McCall, a quiet man with an incredible set of skills who always ends up protecting innocent people from dangerous criminals. Across 3 movies, he has shown that even after decades in Hollywood, he can still carry an action franchise without missing a step. Although The Equalizer 3 wrapped up McCall's story in a peaceful way, with him finally finding happiness in a small Italian town, a bunch of fans believed that was the end of his journey. But that doesn't seem to be the case anymore because Washington recently confirmed that Robert McCall is coming back. During an interview with Esquire, he revealed that The Equalizer 4 and 5 are currently being developed. He even explained that these movies are just as much for him as they are for the audience because people love watching him take down bad guys. That comment perfectly sums up why this franchise has stayed popular for so many years. Fans simply enjoy seeing McCall deliver justice in his own unique way, and Washington clearly understands how much audiences connect with that character. So, hearing that 2 more movies are already in the works makes it feel like the series still has plenty left to offer. It also proves that ending The Equalizer 3 on such a calm note didn't actually close the door forever. Instead, it just gave McCall a moment of peace before another mission eventually finds him. That ending worked because it finally allowed the character to relax after spending years fighting violent criminals, but it never completely ruled out another adventure. Because of that, continuing the franchise actually feels natural instead of forced. One of the biggest reasons these movies continue to work is because they know exactly what they are. They don't try to reinvent themselves every single time. Instead, they focus on giving audiences another satisfying story where Robert McCall steps in whenever innocent people need help. Although the overall formula stays familiar, each movie introduces new villains, new locations, and new situations that keep everything feeling fresh enough. So there hasn't really been a point where the franchise started feeling repetitive or tired. That consistency is actually one of the biggest strengths of the Equalizer series. If something already works so well, there really isn't much reason to completely change it. Fans know what they're getting every time a new movie comes out, and that's part of the appeal. They expect smart action scenes, tense confrontations, and Washington delivering another calm but intimidating performance. The movies consistently deliver those things, so audiences keep coming back. Another thing that makes these films stand out is how different they are from most of Washington's career. He spent decades becoming one of Hollywood's greatest dramatic actors, starring in serious films where he plays complex and powerful characters. Movies like American Gangster, Malcolm X, and even his recent role in Gladiator 2 highlight just how talented he is when it comes to dramatic performances. But Robert McCall gives him the chance to do something a little different. Although McCall still has emotional depth, the Equalizer movies don't ask viewers to spend the entire runtime thinking about complicated moral questions. Instead, they're straightforward action thrillers where audiences can simply enjoy watching McCall outsmart and defeat dangerous criminals. That change of pace makes these films incredibly fun because they balance tension with satisfying action instead of overwhelming drama. Sometimes people just want to watch a skilled hero dismantle an entire criminal organization, and that's exactly what this franchise delivers. Washington also brings a unique level of credibility to these action movies. He doesn't rely on flashy one-liners or exaggerated stunts to make McCall feel dangerous. Instead, his calm personality, quiet confidence, and calculated approach make every confrontation even more intense. He stays so composed that every action scene feels earned instead of over the top. Another major reason why The Equalizer 4 and 5 are exciting is because the franchise has built an incredibly reliable box office record. The first movie, released in 2014, earned around $192 million worldwide while being made on a budget estimated between $55 and $73 million. That was already a strong result, especially for an original action franchise led by an older protagonist. 4 years later, The Equalizer 2 delivered almost exactly the same performance. It earned roughly $190 million worldwide while working with another modest budget. Then The Equalizer 3 arrived in 2023 and once again brought in around $191 million worldwide from a production budget of about $70 million. It's actually pretty unusual for 3 consecutive movies to earn nearly identical amounts at the global box office, because most franchises either grow dramatically or slowly decline over time. So, Sony has every reason to keep investing in this series. Although the franchise has already found a winning formula, there are still plenty of ways the upcoming movies could raise the stakes. One obvious possibility is expanding the supporting cast even further. Over the years, the Equalizer movies have featured talented actors like Chloe Grace Moretz, Pedro Pascal, David Harbour, and Dakota Fanning. Those additions help make every installment feel slightly different while still keeping McCall at the center of the story. Washington explained that he's increasingly interested in directing and working behind the camera instead of constantly doing physically demanding action roles. Even though that shift makes sense after such a long career, the confirmation of the Equalizer 4 and 5 proves he isn't completely finished playing action heroes just yet. Apparently, Robert McCall remains one of the characters worth returning to. Looking ahead, Washington already has an incredibly busy schedule. Following the release of Gladiator 2, he's attached to several exciting projects, including a new adaptation of Akira Kurosawa's High and Low, multiple Shakespeare productions, and collaborations with respected filmmakers like Steve McQueen and Ryan Coogler. On top of all those projects, he'll also be returning for 2 more Equalizer films. So even though he's becoming more selective, he certainly isn't slowing down anytime soon. There have also been plenty of discussions about what the Equalizer 4 could actually look like. Director Antoine Fuqua previously mentioned the possibility of using digital de-aging technology to tell an earlier chapter in McCall's life. Another idea involved Denzel Washington's son, John David Washington, appearing in some capacity. Although those concepts generated interest, neither one currently seems likely. Washington's recent comments suggest the focus remains on continuing Robert McCall's story rather than exploring alternate approaches. Fortunately, continuing the story shouldn't be difficult because the Equalizer 3 leaves plenty of room for another adventure. While some fans expected McCall to sacrifice himself during the 3rd movie, the ending went in a completely different direction. Instead of dying, he finally discovered peace after years of violence. That conclusion worked perfectly as an emotional ending, but it also left the door open if another mission ever pulled him back into action. One simple way to continue the story would be showing that retirement didn't last forever. McCall has spent most of his life helping people, so staying completely removed from danger might eventually become impossible. Another person in need could cross his path, or someone from his past could bring a new threat directly to him. Either option would naturally pull him back into the world he tried to leave behind. There's also the possibility of expanding Colin's role after she became one of McCall's newest allies. She could approach him when facing an operation that requires someone with his experience and unconventional methods. That setup would allow McCall to return without making it feel forced because he'd once again be helping someone who truly needs him. Although repeating another retirement ending could become repetitive, the writers have plenty of opportunities to avoid that by giving his journey a fresh direction. And that's that for today's video. Thank you so much for watching our video today, and we will see you in the next one. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your family and friends, and subscribe to our channel to stay in the loop. And if you want, you can share your thoughts about this video in the comments section down below.